Hey, it's Mark B there again, and today we're going to do an off-the-cuff review of Player's Handbook 2, Dungeons & Dragons 4th edition. My views on 4th edition are hardly widely known by anybody that's watched these videos, but I did end up getting this book simply because I do occasionally play 4th edition when that's all that's available, though I won't run it. And so I did pick up the book to have all new classes and races, and I haven't read the thing cover to cover or anything like that, nor will I probably. But off my initial skimmings and scannings, I wanted to talk about what I found. Number one is they have continued to try to basically take things that have been true since the first edition and then just totally change them for no reason that I can see. As I glance at the contents here to remind myself of where we're going, the gnome, for example, gnomes have always been pretty much a cousin of dwarves, and now for no apparent reason gnomes are from the Feywild. They are like, cousins to elves and eladrin, because there's not enough Fey stuff with elves, eladrin, half elves. No, we've got to go ahead and now add gnomes to that mix as well. Half-orcs now have a bonus to dexterity. When in the hell have half-orcs ever been considered dexterous? They're half-orc, half-human, and always they've been known for their strength, which they still get a bonus to strength, but now all of a sudden orcs are agile. Orcs are these agile creatures. No, when the hell did that ever get decided? In what fantasy setting have orcs ever been agile? And for the little brief part where it talks about where they came from, there's all these theories about, it's like, oh, were they made years ago by this god or that god, and all these different things. And it's like, what happened to just a human and an orc had sex and had a half-orc? I mean, can't you just say that? You have to have some explanation where the first ones came from. Would it have been through interbreeding between those two races? But whatever. That's a small enough thing. And then they got these shifters for people that, for some reason, the 4th edition seems really big on races that are descended from other things. Tieflings are descended from demons, and you can play the divas that are kind of descended from angels. And now you can play shifters that are descended from werewolves and were-tigers, because everybody's got to be descended from something. So whatever. My big problem here, as I look at the classes, first of all, they have shamans, and guess what, as I find it real quick here, just to double check where I'm at. Yes, indeed, implements used by a shaman would be totems. Now, for those people that have always been fighting to say that 4th edition is not trying to be like World of Warcraft, you've added the shaman class and you've given them totem as the thing they use for their powers. Alright, that is as blatantly World of Warcraft as you can get, and you've just done it. So don't tell me that. That argument is over. If you don't think that this game tries to emulate WoW, you're not reading the black and white in front of you, guaranteed. My other problem with the classes in this book is a lot of them, and again I haven't studied extensively yet, but it seems that the goal of this book's classes is to make the classes from Player's Handbook 1 obsolete. There is no reason that I can see that anybody would ever want to be a fighter when the Warden class presented in this gets more hit points, has, gets everything that a fighter's supposed to get, but better. They can mark every round, they can mark any enemy that they're adjacent to, all of them, whereas a fighter can just mark one specific guy at a time, and the things it does are more devastating than what a fighter's mark will do. Warden has made fighter 100% obsolete. Now obviously you can play a fighter because you like a fighter, but if we're talking about functionality, there is no reason to ever be a fighter now. You might as well be a warden. And the same is true for almost any striker. The sorcerers are sick. The damage they do blows away the damage from any of your strikers in Player's Handbook 1. Their at-will power gets the D10 plus charisma modifier, plus either strength or dex, depending on their build. So say you've got an 18 on both, you're doing d10 plus 8 damage for your at will. This blows every other conceivable class away for damage. And I haven't even studied any all that much more further into it. It just seems downright ridiculous in every way that I can see. And oh yes, that's the other thing. I'm glad I looked at it. You know, they talked about eliminating like companions to make the game run smoother. And then in martial powers, bam, they hit you with rangers who have a beast. And now, bam, you've got the shaman with his spirit companion that you have to guide around, and special rules for that. And now the invoker has a daily that summons an angel, and now you've got to keep track of what the angel's doing. So all the like I said in my original reviews, all the things they said they were weeding out of the game, they are immediately putting back into it only like a year later, less than a year later. Just like they took the gnome out and they're back. We can't leave anything out that we say we're taking out. Going right back in there. Absolutely. And next month, Arcane Power hits and talks about, you know, new options and builds for your wizards and your sorcerers and whatnot. Well, guess what? The Sorcerer just came out in March, and next month you're talking about more options for it. How about slow the hell down and let us assimilate the class, play with it a little while, before like, okay, here's some new builds, here's more builds, here's more things to do with it. I don't understand this cocaine-style fueled rush to hyperactively pump out 15 books in 3 months or something. I know that's an exaggeration, but it just seems ridiculous. You're going to get their money anyway. The people are going to buy it. But do you have to rush it out so quick? Can we take the time to read a couple 100-page rule book that, you know, sadly costs 35 bucks despite the thickness? Well, anyway, here's just an off-the-cuff review of what I've seen in the Player's Handbook 2. I bought it because I am a whore for Dungeons & Dragons. I have been trying to protest this game, but, you know, it's all some people are playing. And, you know, I'm a die-hard role player, and I like to read new stuff, and sadly it's the only thing being made nowadays that I can even play half the time. So, you know, I do it. But doesn't mean I can't complain, and doesn't mean I don't want better, you know. So, you know, what can I say? Is it worth buying? Well, if you're going to play 4th edition, yeah, especially if you want to be apparently the better classes, because like I said, they're kind of making the old ones obsolete. But, you know, given the choice, 3rd edition's still the way to go. Like, luckily I've finally been able to put together a Kingdoms of Calamar campaign on the weekends, and that is going wonderfully. But anyway, to all my loyal viewers and anybody that just stumbles by here, I want to thank you all for watching. Y'all have a good night, and a happy St. Patrick's Day if you're watching today. And I don't know, by the way, how this video is going to look lighting-wise, because all I got in my lamp right now is a blue bulb. So if this looks funny or you can't see me, well, damn it. But we'll give it a shot. Alright, I'm out.